today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to get away from the chants for a second, and we're going to talk about warming up. Often I go to a gig and I do some routine warm-ups, and some people think that I'm, showing off or something. But really what I'm doing are double strokes, not necessarily rolls, but double stroke quick figure that I often do, and it just helps loosen up my wrists and my ankles, and I want to recommend that for doing before you start a gig. And you should do it like, try not to be annoying on stage or on the bandstand. Try to do this even without sticks, but we'll get into that later, like, backstage or in the green room or sitting at the bar or whatever. You don't want to be up there warming up before the gig. That's kind of a vibe killer, but I'll go more into that later. So this warm-up I'm doing is right, left, kick, kick. Right, left, kick, kick. And I go around the kit. That's if there's no one around, or I would recommend doing that, but now when you bring the hi-hat into it, you'll notice on the figure, the hi-hats are in eighths, and then they turn into the quarters, meaning this figure can take on 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's what it sounds like slower. It just happens to be in 3. Now you can do eighths, because I was just doing the quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So if I actually read the chart, which is not the point, but it'll begin with 2 measures of eighths on a hi-hat and 2 measures of quarter notes on a hi-hat. So we'll do 2 of each, 2 measures of each. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, I mean, you could sit there and use this as an exercise for synchronization, or you could use it to just loosen up your wrists and your ankles. I didn't mean for this to be so technical as like, okay, there's 2 measures of eighth notes on a hi-hat and there's 2 measures of quarter notes. That doesn't matter. However, if you want to get your brain in tune with this exercise, then do it. So, but for the sake of loosening up, let's do this at 3 different tempos like I do everything else, but I don't want to do it too fast because you won't be able to do those eighths. Like, if you want to be an expert and try that, be my guest. But that's what we want to work it up to. And that's a fast 3, so we're going to slow it down to 80 BPM, and let's start that. We'll do the eighth into the quarter notes. 1, 2, go. One thing I noticed is some of you might not have this big-ass kit with 3 rack tops and 2 floors. You're going to have like a 4-piece. So let's imagine this and that and this are not here. And we're just going to go with the first rack or the second rack in this case, and a floor tom. Okay, so in other words, it'll go. We'll do it 2 times on the floor tom. Okay, so let's move it on up. Move on up. 1, 2, 3. You got the picture. Let's try it at 180 BPM. And we're not going to do the eighth notes. We're just going to do the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. Okay, so that's really where you want to get at. If you want to master doing this with the click track perfectly, I'm not saying don't do it. Will that help you in drumming? Definitely, because you'll be just one of them precise people. But the whole point is, that's the point. And so I was just giving you a hi-hat figure against that to know what the exercise is. Okay? Now, I'm playing even a longer hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because this is 3. But I wasn't doing that. I was going like this. I'm playing across it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a long 3. So there's, different ways to subdivide this exercise, but so let's say we're going to go back. I'm sitting down at the gig. I just set up my drums. I'm really stiff because I lifted all this stuff to the car and everything, or the van or the truck or whatever you're driving, and I got a heavy hardware bag, or I got a little bebop, whatever. It's stiff. I'm bending over. I parked all this stuff. I get behind the kit real quick, and I go. Do that a couple times and I'm loose enough to start the first tune. That's the point. Okay, we'll see you next time at thericklessons.com.